So we're on a new series, and Pastor Sean is talking about a cool character in the Bible named Daniel. And I love Daniel. He's one of my favorite characters, and he nails it in his life. He never messes up. So if you look at the whole story, almost every Bible character we have has this sort of failure in their life. But Daniel seems to be the guy who, he nails it, and he's got a really cool story. So today I want to talk to you about why I think he nails it. And I don't think it was because Daniel was some sort of a superstar as far as a person. It wasn't that he was incredibly strong-willed or disciplined. I think it was because Daniel knew how to find his center. He knew how to find his focus, and that was always on God. So I want to use an illustration with you, bouncing across the beam. All right, so bouncing across the beam is all about finding your center. It's all about finding your balance. So as he's bouncing on God, the stakes aren't high as he's a kid. Everything is awesome. He can walk this journey. It's pretty easy. It's not that complicated to walk with God when Daniel's a boy. So Daniel gets caught in this position where his whole people get arrested, pulled off, and they're now going to be slaves. And I want you guys to notice as you're reading through the story what Daniel does. It doesn't talk about him worrying. He does the exact same thing. All that happened is that the consequences are higher. Everything sort of changed on him, but the same reality is still there. So he still walks with God. His focus is still on God. So as he's walking through his life, he's not looking around him. Look what happens when I'm looking around. As I sort of get my head up and then start noticing things around me, I'm tippy. Daniel keeps laser focus on his walk with God. And in Daniel's life, it just keeps the stakes keep getting higher. He runs into this place where he's told to eat the king's food. He's told to do things that counter his walk with God. And what he continues to do is he keeps his focus. Everything else just got crazy, but the board stayed the same. His walk with God stayed the same. So as he starts walking, and as he starts keeping his focus on God, nothing else matters. He's still good. He's still in control. So finally, Daniel gets to a place in his life where it is life and death. He is told to stop praying. He's told to stop taking his focus off of his center, his walk with God. And if he doesn't, he's going to die. He's going to get thrown to the lions then. So the stakes for Daniel keep going higher. But his steady journey is always the same. He keeps doing exactly what he's always done. He keeps centered. He keeps walking across. He keeps his focus on God. Now, I am not going to really do this because I am worried about these things around me. I'm worried about falling. I'm worried about hitting the concrete. It's easy for me to lose focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. And this isn't even high up. Say, for example, I walked and put this on the top of a roof where it actually did become life-threatening. What doesn't change is that this board is not any harder to walk across than it was when it was on the ground. What changes is I'm sidetracked and I'm starting to look over to different things, and my fear and different things are pulling me because this is a big deal. This is what I want you to get from Daniel's life. Daniel's not great because he could figure out how to do everything. He didn't have to deal with all the sidetraction. He didn't have to process and stay strong in every area of his life. That's just way too complicated. And sometimes we do that in our walk with God, is we think we have to have everything figured out. All Daniel did is just knew exactly where his center was. He had to come back to God and go, I just need to focus on God. That's it. And his success in his life was based totally on him finding center with God, him having center, him having God as his main concern, his main focus. So my challenge for myself and for you this week is to look at what is it that's taking your focus. If you're on a life journey, if you're way up there and life is going crazy, are you looking around to different things? Are you running off and then trying to get back on? All that kind of stuff is going to cause you to crash. What is keeping you focused on God? Is your life set up like that? I know when I look at my life, I have been challenged to go, you know what, a lot of my life is not focusing on God. I get sidetracked. I'm looking around. I get afraid. I get worried. I get wondering what people think of me. I lose my focus. This week, I want you to think of what would it take to keep your eyes sort of on your target and keep centered on God.